work this business 8 hours a day, 6 days a week at least.
It's not uncommon during the middle of the week to with 35, 40 items.
Like you figure out what works.
Hey, what is up, everybody? It is I, Bob, the Rocket City Reseller, with a FlipSide Reseller Roundtable. And what's up? What's up? We're going to talk about sales, goals, and trolls today. Boy, there's a lot of each.
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
I don't know. The more I do this, the more it becomes apparent. I don't know about you guys. The old trolling. There's a lot of people out there trolling. It's crazy.
For sure.
Definitely.
How's everybody doing? We're going around the horn and we'll just reintroduce ourselves. If you want to catch us and find out more about us as resellers, catch the intro episode. You can catch that on Amazon, Apple, or Spotify. We are broadcasting through to all those channels, so pick your favorite. And we appreciate you listening through those channels as well. Make sure you subscribe and like. That also helps us grow as a channel and as a podcast. And we appreciate y'all. We're going to start with Tennessee Treasures. Ellie, out of Tennessee. We were just talking about sweating to death. Alabama and Tennessee. It's hot.
It's hot out here. It's hot out here.
It's hot,
outside for more than 5 minutes.
And we wanted to say a quick happy birthday to Ellie. It was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Ellie.
Happy birthday.
Even in the comments, leave happy birthday for Ellie. Appreciate that. Hey, Joe's in the comments. I'd flip that. Hello, Joe. Thank you for making it live.
Hello.
We're going to go around the corner one more time to Cougars Corner, Gary and Amy.
Hey, everybody. We're Cougars Corner. I'm Gary.
Amy.
We're welcome. Yep, we're gonna leave it short because we got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. Everybody's head is about to explode about shipping. I don't know if you guys seen all the stuff that's going on and whatnot. I know you guys are not whatnot sellers, but dang, it's crazy. Shawnsfinds, everywhere Shawnsfinds. Hey, Sean, how are you?
I'm good. How about you guys?
We're doing good. We appreciate all the shout outs you've been doing for the podcast. All of you guys makes a huge hell of a difference. So make sure you guys are following. Once you like and subscribe here, make sure you're following all these guys across their socials so that we can keep on bringing you great reselling content. And of course, last but not least, Four Seasons Picker, Ruthanne. How are you, my dear?
Hey, I'm Ruthanne. I'm the Four Seasons Picker. I pick and sell out of Minnesota full time.
And she fishes it, y'all. How's the fishing? Is that the proper?
Well, I wet a line the other day, but I was not interested. I had my girlfriends on the boat, and we were having more fun than fishing is. So, awesome. I didn't do much fishing. I did more of this than anything.
Sometimes that's helpful. You know, either it's one of two things with fishing. I find either quietly accept it and just relax, or you're just talking about something with a friend. Either way, it's okay.
Yep.
So, you don't have to find the catch when you are the catch, Ruthanne.
Oh. I'm old. I don't know things, but
sometimes you just need a good afternoon with your girls. So
yeah, that's awesome.
That was better than fishing.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys do to unwind at Cougars Corner? What are you guys doing to beat the? I love it.
Listings, pictures,
like me.
Shipping.
That's what you guys do to relax. I know, Sean, you just went away for a long weekend with the wife. I'm sure it was a necessary unplug. Yeah. So
no, I had stuff drafted for the entire trip, so I still listed every single day. So.
Workaholics.
Take the reseller out of the game, but you can't take the game out of the reseller, right?
Love it. Yeah. Well, he's not going to make his goal by taking 2-3 days off.
No.
You need every one of those days.
Yep.
I might need extra days. So
that's not a leap year.
I love the part.
Quarter 4 is going to be good, and then you'll just however you're behind, you'll just catch right back up.
I predict that Sean is going to have as many sales as he had in the first 2 quarters in quarter 4, at least, if not more. That's what I'm predicting. Yeah. I'm going to predict that for all of us.
He's going to have more.
Yeah. I've been looking at a lot of the numbers from the past 3 years just to see, because everybody's talking about summer slowdown. So I went back and I checked because I'm the data guy. And I've seen it triple year after year. So from 2023 to 2024, 25, for us anyways. Now, I would say probably, I don't know if we're just, because of the work ethic, if that's all it is, or if it's the hard work, or if it's just getting smarter about what we're picking up along the way. Maybe it's a combination of all things,
Yeah.
possibly.
Combination.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. What about you guys? How are sales? We'll go. Ellie, how's sales?
It's been a slow weekend. I
Has it?
think I made like 6 sales, I think. Last weekend was busier. I had like 15. So
Wow, it's pretty good.
yeah, I was excited, especially for just starting. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
my month ended with 300 listings up in my first month cross listing, and oh gosh, I think it was like 1,500 in sales or something like that.
That's
So,
pretty good for just
Yay!
starting out. I mean, I would be okay with that.
yeah,
I'd
first
be okay
month.
with that right now.
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Sean, what about you?
My sales are down this month compared to like the last couple months, but that's to be given in June and July, usually August, but they're higher than what they were in June of last year. So
Can't complain
Because of
about
your
that,
growth.
right?
Because you're just growing.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Yeah, they always talk about J months being the slower months. And I guess there's some truth to that, but I did go back and look at quarter to quarter from 2025 to 2026, quarter two. I think I mentioned it last time, and it was triple for us what it was last year. So I can't complain at all, even if it appears to be a little bit slower. And I'm actually running a sale for the first time in 6 months on eBay.
Oh snap!
Only, and not because of sales. It's because I'm trying to get inventory because we have so much in the back queue that we can't put away. That's not necessarily a bad thing,
Right.
but that's kind of the reason why I'm trying to push it out. So, what about you, Ruthanne? How's sales? What's going on?
Sales are pretty good for me. I but I think they're better than last year, but I think it's because I'm on twice as many platforms. So
Mm.
I had an outstanding whatnot show on a train this week that was kind of out of the blue. I mean, usually, trains are pretty limited to what you're going to sell,
Mhm.
but I sold like 63 items in a 1 hour train. That's a lot for a train,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
a 1 hour
yeah.
train. So I was
And
very happy with that.
it's like item a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
that's hard to beat those kind of volume numbers. That's what the power of whatnot is, a live auction. If once you
Yeah.
get a following and get known for having great items like you do, it almost becomes a slam dunk at that point.
I guess I'm going to say that I had one powerhouse buyer that came in. She was kind of my ace in the hole for the show. She came in, she bought like 26 plush. So without her, it would have been, an okay show still, but not as good as what she made it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get
Too.
that, sometimes you get one of those powerhouse buyers in, and if they already love you and they know that, then they just buy like crazy.
Yeah, that's all it takes. One or two people in the show to make it or break it.
Yep.
No, Gary and Amy has a buyer like that, right, for clothing that comes in and buys a bunch of items from you, right?
Yeah, he shows up once in a while and he's out of the country, but he will buy, I think our biggest order out of him was like 40 some items.
Nice.
Or maybe 50. And then he had a 40 item order and another one for 25, but he kind of pops up every now and then.
Mhm.
Usually when sales are slow. So right now things are a little bit slower. So maybe he'll pop up and
Yeah.
Call it out into existence.
Right.
maybe use that coupon feature where you can send them a coupon.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll
Oh,
pop up.
see, this is why
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Sean, you have so many great ideas,
Yeah.
And by the way, Sean, I saw your reel just before we came on here, and how you should be the CEO of Mercari. I vote Sean into
I should be the
I did
CEO
too.
of Mercari. I said I had some ideas for the CEO of Mercari.
I think you should be the CEO.
I vote for Sean.
I vote Sean.
Let's go.
The board
Oh
is
my God.
spoken.
I know.
I'm kind of creeping Sean these days. He's
Got a lot of great content. Yeah.
I'm trying to pattern myself. He is the most I mean, outside of Bob, because Bob is the same, but
I
that's
don't know about
Sean. He
that. Sean's got me beat.
puts out
It's all
so
Amanda
much
behind the scenes.
content. I'm just like, if I could just do a quarter of the content that Sean's doing, and I just, so I'm creeping you, Sean. I'm creeping you.
We're waiting for your content.
I'm waiting for my camera now.
Yeah.
Oh
Hit
yes.
the bullet.
Let's
That
talk
was
about it.
cool.
Let's talk about
Hit
it,
the
Ruthanne.
bullet. Two big things have happened to me in the last. So ChatGPT says that it might be my big change now for growth, because I don't know how many of you use ChatGPT, but
Every day.
anyway, so I ended up having to beg Poshmark to let me sell, because unbeknownst to me, I opened my Poshmark account in 2024 and I didn't realize I didn't know, guys. Okay. You can all laugh if you want, but I didn't know I had 5 sales. I had 5 sales in 2024 that I never shipped out.
Damn.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know I had the sales. I can't explain that to you. And I didn't even know I had things listed, to be totally honest. So I don't know how that happened. But then, so when I tried to post on Poshmark, they had restricted me. And so then I had to state my case. You know what that's like,
Yeah,
Ellie.
I sure do.
I had to state my case, and I just told them, look at my other platforms,
Yep.
look at my rating, and I promise you I'm a great seller. And they let me back on. So that was one big good thing. And now I've had 2 Poshmark sales
Let's
that I've
go.
got shipped already. And I bought the camera this week. So I'm waiting for that to come.
Oh snap! What kind of camera did you get?
I bought the 360. Let's see. I think I wrote it down. 360. Come on, where'd you write it down? It's one of those. It's a 360.
Like
Is
a
it a
pendant?
GoPro?
It's a pendant, or it can go on my hat. I wear a hat a lot, so I probably will wear it on my hat most of the time. But it has a magnetized pendant, and then it has the app that connects to your phone, so you can do most of the transferring onto your social media from your phone. So
Love it.
Perfect.
me and ChatGPT are going to be learning next week.
Let's
I'm
go.
looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ruthanne comes up with, because I already like the content that you're already doing.
Yeah.
So on Instagram, if you're not following Ruthanne, the 4-season picker on Instagram, make sure you're following her, because her content's fantastic. For someone new to it, it comes so easy to you.
Mhm.
So
Well,
you guys will enjoy that.
the engaging with people comes easy,
Mhm.
but the whole technology thing scares me to death. And like I was telling Sean, I have a hard time with thinking that I'm interesting. So so now I'm being very transparent. It's
Oh,
hard for me to think. It's hard for me to think about, putting out content, because
I have 2 stories that are going to make you feel better. Last week, I shipped a Whatnot sale a week late because I cross list to Whatnot's marketplace, but I don't do live shows. And I didn't know I sold something because I get so many spam notifications from Whatnot advertising shows that I just ignore. I had a sale in there the whole time I didn't know, and I shipped it a week late. And 2, with the technology, when I bought a new computer, I sent Bob like 20 links. Like, do you think this will work, Bob? Do you think this will work, Bob? So if you have tech problems, just ask Bob and he'll respond and talk you through it. So
yeah.
Love it.
If I have time, I'm always willing to help. Time is one of those things. Time management is a tricky thing, especially when you're rocking a 9 to 5 like I do. It's like a damn anchor around my neck. So
Yeah.
man, if it wasn't for that 9 to 5. So
I can't even imagine that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think part-time reselling, and Sean did, I mean, most of us actually did that for a while now. Ellie still considers herself part-time, even though she's not. Full-time mama is her main gig, but I think from a part-time, I would say part-time reselling almost feels like it's harder. I've taken weeks off where it feels like full-time, and that's where I'm using my baseline. But I'm sure, I don't know, maybe if I was on the other side of it, I'd feel differently. So we're going to ask some full-time resellers that question. Gary and Amy, what do you think? Which one's easier?
Oh man, easier.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they both have. That's kind of a cop out answer, is to say that they both have their high points and low points. I think it's probably easier to be a full-time reseller than have the job.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of times where it's that flexibility thing. You know, there's a sale going on, there's a garage sale, there's a clearance sale, there's something that I want to be able to go do and I can't do it because I've got a work obligation.
Yeah.
And that's the tough thing, because you're either missing out or losing out on a potential, opportunity for your reselling business. But then once you're a full-time reseller, you have that flexibility to do that, but you also have to have the discipline in order to make sure you do the opposite side, where you're getting the listings up and taking the pictures and getting things shipped out. So I think I would say that the full-time reseller is probably the easier piece because of that.
So flexibility comes with discipline, and if you don't have discipline, you can't have flexibility.
For sure.
That's right.
That slaps for a lot of resellers. I know there's a lot of folks out there that, and myself included, like I've said it a million times, my wife does most of the like hard lift. I'm logistics. I do a lot of that part of it, like going to the post office, pulling orders, listing, social media part of it. So I do that part of it, and she's doing all the photos and the pictures and all the hard work. So I don't know. So I can see maybe both sides of it, because I live it every day. So
I'd say that sounds like a great team, because
I'm very, very lucky. We're very lucky.
Because Sean and I can tell you that when you're working by yourselves, one of the things that scares me about social media and really getting rolling is just plain old having the time. Because I know that Sean doesn't have a ton of time. He has to make time for this social media thing and the content creation. And my biggest fear with the content creation is just really making it a habit, a consistent habit, because I don't really know where I'm going to put it in my time frame, but I'm going to. Somehow I'm going to.
So what do you think, Sean? I mean, for you, is it slowing you down, do you think, to your goal of 500K?
I have right now 1,100 listings less than I did in November of last year, but I've made a big push on focusing on higher dollar stuff. So in the past, to reach my $1,000 daily listing goal, sometimes I'd have to list 40, 50 items to get to it. Now I'm gotten it down to where I'm only listing like 15 or 20 a day, because I'm focusing on items $50, $60 or higher. So I've made time by switching my strategy up to listing more the same, but less items. So that's how I've been able to make a little bit extra time since I started social media.
The push towards social media is, I don't know if it's necessary for reselling, because I don't think it necessarily is, but it helps a few things. For me, it was more so because I do have a 9-to-5 that I'll likely have for I don't think I'll ever go full-time, honestly. But if I were to go full-time, maybe. I would say social media for me is about education and providing community of safe space, because resellers get hell. They really do. And for my content, I want to make sure that there's a safe place for people that actually have their opinions and their different, like how they are approached and what they can say and how they can leverage their businesses. So for me, anyways, that's part of the reason why I'm doing social media. Obviously, I want to grow my business as well, so it's not all, that. But I think on the other side of it, there's room in between. So
I think, like most things in life, you've got to prioritize what are you actually trying to get out of social media.
Yeah.
And if reselling's what's paying the bills or helping supplement your income to pay your bills, social media is a side thing, at least to begin with. You're not going to be making any money when you first start, likely. And reselling, if it's the bulk of what you're making, then keeping the priority 1, 2 is going to be important. So if you find yourself, trying to make posts and videos and you're not getting your listings up, then you've really got it backwards.
Right.
I mean, now some content creators have got it to where that's flipped for them. Some of the big time follower, people with big followers, they may be making more on social media. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of, lose sight of that, is that they might be more of a content creator than they are a reseller at that point.
Yeah, I agree with Gary. Part of the reason I started making content, because I thought about it for years and years and years. And there's these guys on YouTube making insane money. And I'm like, well, I sell more than this guy, and I sell more than this guy, and I sell more than this guy. Like, I felt like they were just making content they were just reselling to make content instead of making content along with their reselling. So
yeah,
I was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And I eventually just talked myself into starting to do it. So
for anything else, even if you don't get monetized, I think content creation can help you learn about yourself and your business over time, because you have a documented process over the years. You can go back to the footage like sports players do and look at the game footage, we'll call it for lack of a better word. You can go back and look at what you were doing, how you were doing it. There's no question about remembrance at that point. Right. So you can try to, self-deceive, but roll that beautiful bean footage, as they say. You can go back and look and see. And that for me is really important. Plus, there's a legacy involved too if you're doing this. So you can actually have that over the course of your career in reselling. And if it is that for you, if you're full-time and it is a career for you, there's value in that. And then you should be documenting your processes, because especially if you're successful like all you are, like for me, there's extreme value in that. People need to know how to do it. Is it for everybody? I don't know. Reselling for everybody, Ellie?
It can be. It just depends on what you can put up with. There's a lot behind reselling. And one of the questions I had for Sean and Gary and Amy is, I guess I started reselling as part-time and I was working full-time too. And it really took a backseat then. I think I was on, maybe my 90-day was I think it maybe reached 6,000 90-day when I first started on eBay before I got banned. But I was working a full-time job then. And so when I got banned, reselling took a backseat. I tried Whatnot. But I guess my question for you guys is, do you feel like you're working as hard or harder as when you were still full-time and doing full-time working and then part-time reselling, trying to make this full-time? Are you working the same amount, or do you feel a little less stressed than when you were working a full-time job?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I'm working less, because I worked at a factory working 12-hour shifts. So I was doing 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the factory.
Yeah.
So I'd have to get up at 4 a.m. to get my shipping done. And luckily I have a good wife, because the post office isn't open at 6 p.m. when I got off work. So she's a school teacher. So I would get up at 4, do my shipping, put all my packages in the back seat of her car. Then when she got out of school that day, she'd run them by the post office on her way home. And then I'm a big believer in daily listings. I'm pretty vocal about that. And so I'd come home and list after being in a 120-degree insulation factory all day. So, or I would at least on my off days draft 10 listings a day to make live while I was at work. And then sometimes I would carry a backpack to work with sports cards in it, and I'd list sports cards in the break room on my break on the table with no fancy background or anything. So
that's dedication.
I think it's safe to say that I work less now than when I was doing both of them.
Okay. Yeah. So you were going 200 miles an hour to get to where you could.
Yeah. Now I'm down to 150 or so.
Yeah.
You have to remember something important about that story that Sean tells about that time period. He did not like that job. When you have that much burning angst for something, you will figure it out. They often say hungry dogs run faster. So I don't know if you guys ever heard that one before, but a hungry dog will run faster every time. So talking about that, I mean, what about for you guys, Gary and Amy? Now that you're full-time reselling, do you find yourself hungrier for it now than you were? before?
I think so, because we have some pretty big goals too. And we,
Yeah.
you know, before, when you kind of went into this, it was for the flexibility. We could go vacation when we want. And we found, especially this year with, our 90-day, every time we go away, even if you are gone for a short amount of time, you watch that 90-day sink and you come back and you are negative $8,000 or $9,000 in your 90-day. And it takes another 3 months to get built back up. And so it's different now that we schedule our vacation in January when it's a little bit slower
for us,
and, you go into it for the flexibility, but then we're both a little obsessive about it.
I think I think you can work as much as you want. It's a choice. And I guess for us, we probably do work more now than we did when I was full time. Even though when I was full time, I would come home after work and we do 40 or 50 sets of pictures, and I do listings, in the morning or on break at work or in the evening. But that was a choice. Like, we didn't have to. We could put up 10 or 15 or whatever and just be fine with that. But I think like our goals and what our desire for our business to be is to, do more and more. And so in order to get to that point, we choose to work, as much as we can. So I think that the answer is like, yes, we do probably work more now, but that's not to say that we didn't work a lot before we had this as a full-time job.
And it's what you make of it. Like, we don't have to do that by any means, but that's, we're both a little, if you're going to do something, then do it. Like, so it's,
Well, I think we've always had this idea that we want to see what can we make this, like how much of a fire can we make with this? And if that means putting out 50 or 60 listings a day, then we've talked about what does it look like if we put out 100 a day? Could we manage that? And what would that look like? And so then it's just a matter of, everybody's got the same 24 hours. Just depends on when you want to work them, how much of them you want to work, and what you're going to be doing with that time. So, I mean, maybe it sounds crazy, but I think we do work more now, but part of that's a choice to see what can we make this.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's what I love about reselling too. Everybody gets to choose what they make of it, and that's what I love about this panel. Bob is considering himself part-time. Ellie, her first priority is her kids. I draw a pension, and tomorrow I'm taking my mom to the doctor. So that's a priority, and I can do that. And it's just, everybody can make their business exactly what suits their life and still succeed in what that looks like for them.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love about this occupation for everyone.
There's no right or wrong answer to this way that you run your business.
You
That's
almost
right.
get to pick your salary. Like, if you want to make,
I mean,
if you
really do.
If you want to make 50 grand a year, you put 50 grand's worth of work in. If you want to make 100 grand a year, you put 100 grand worth of work in, and it's up to you how much you want to make, as long as you don't run out of time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For those people that are saying that they can't find good inventory, Sean, what do you say to those folks? Like, because to me, I would say if your area, like right now, I couldn't find a good clothing brand to save my life in the city of Huntsville. If you're finding that and you're in the Huntsville area, good for you, because I've checked everywhere. It's basically George everywhere. What do you say to those people, Sean?
I think one of the keys is mastering your area. I know on Friday and Saturday what areas of the town are going to have the best yard sales. I know on Wednesday mornings I got a flea market and auction I go to every week. I know on Thursday there's a kind of crappy flea market I'll go to if I'm low on stuff, which hasn't been an issue in a while. I know on high bid, I know which auction houses I can bid on, and I can usually find good deals and good stuff where they're flexible with their pickup times. I know the local auction houses that I avoid because you can't buy anything there because the stuff goes too high. I know which auction houses you can go to that usually has deals, and it's just through trial of years and years and years and mastering your area. I know which Goodwills, if I'm not a big thrift store guy, but in the winter I will go into them every once in a while. Which ones are a little better than the others? Like, it's just mastering your area. It's putting your name out there and letting everyone like I love talking reselling, so I talk to everyone. So my phone goes off a couple times a week where I get random deals. I wear my eBay store's Blue Dog Trading Post. I have Blue Dog Trading Post shirts and hats that I wear to most auctions because when I'm at an auction, I tend to draw attention to myself because I buy so much. And then all the old guys are walking up to me like, "What are you doing with all this stuff?" And I tell them what I do. And then sometimes they hit me up and like, "I got a whole barn full of this stuff." And I'm like,
Ooh.
sometimes it works out to a deal. Like it's just
Your eyes just
mastering your
light up.
area.
It actually happened to Amanda when she was at the post office one time. There was an older gentleman in there and said, "We have a barn full of stuff." And she was telling them all about whatnot. And they're just like, "Would you be interested?" And I was, at the time, there was just too much going on. It was during fourth quarter. I was just like, I couldn't imagine reselling a barn's worth of antique. I'm sure there was treasures galore in that thing. But, I mean, I don't know.
Can't get all the treasure.
I turn down more than I buy.
Yeah, I would assume so. Now, Sean, you made I've been watching your social media scene, and you've made a lot of good deals over the course of the last 2 weeks since we talked. Let's talk about the Mopar deal. Would you mind talking about that a little bit?
That was actually my first social media related deal. I've gotten DMs from people in the Midwest saying, "I have all this, and I would take this." And I explained to them, like, if you're already following me or you watch my videos and you found me, you already know I don't pay that much. But I did find somebody who was willing to work on, like, he knew somebody who bought a building in a foreclosure auction that was a Mopar dealer, and all the old parts, brand new in the box, were still in the dealership. The guy who reached out to me is a reseller, but he's not big into eBay, so he likes to sell like locally, and he actually working on building an antique mall. But those part specific things you need eBay for. We're in the same state. He's 3 hours north of me. He reached out, sent some pictures. I told him that I was willing to pay 25% of eBay comps. Well, was kind of sticky as I got up there, and he wrote the comps on every single box, but he did a lot of sold comps that were with free shipping built in. Yeah. So I was explaining to him like, "Hey, yeah, this did sell for $100, but it's this big. So it probably cost the seller like $25 a ship. So it was really a $75 part." So we had to go through a bunch of that kind of stuff. And like I said, we already agreed that I'd pay 25% of comps. And I took an enclosed trailer up there, and I filled an enclosed trailer full of Mopar car parts, new in a box. So.
Right on.
Man.
But that's the first social media connection since doing social media that I've been able to get.
That's nice listing.
Love the power of social media.
That's the power of it, right, Ellie? So it's not just about monetization; it's about growth in your business.
That's really what I'm hoping to gain. Yeah. I'm not even thinking about monetization. Yeah. I just want to gain. That's what I want to gain. I want to gain more buyers through that, through social media, and just more connections.
Once someone has a view into what you actually have, a lot of times with reselling, they don't know, because we can't list everything that we actually currently have. Once you start showing people like this is the scope, the depth, and the breadth of what I have, I think that for a lot of people, especially if they're not resellers, and those are the folks that we want as followers, right? So we want those folks to understand that, yes, I have just about every shirt you can imagine known to man. Come to my store, be happy to help you find what you're looking for. And once you have that conversation, I think that's the power of social media. So not that there's anything wrong about making reseller content, because there isn't. That's my fair share of what I do. But I also want to be able to speak to Plush and Toys. If someone is in the need or looking for something they can't find from their childhood, ask. Maybe I have it. You never know. So that's the power of that. It's crazy.
Well,
so go ahead, Sean.
Obviously, I want to show people that anybody can quit their job and make six figures outside of eBay. but I also want to make like that hairy tornado money on social media as well. So,
I mean,
so if I go for something, I'm going for it. I'm not just gonna dip my toes in there. I want to make some money on social media. So
I mean,
I'll be
It's
more
never
about
not
it.
the goal.
I don't want to discredit Josh and Haley because they've built a hell of a thing, right? But I mean, why not you? Right, Sean? Why not Sean's
Why
Finds?
not? I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do
I
it.
mean-
Like just like my eBay store, I'm gonna do it. I'm going for it. So that's my goal.
Yeah,
so.
you might as well. All in, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm hooking my plow to Sean.
A good wagon to
He's
hitch.
going to be my John Deere tractor.
Yeah.
You could pick a worse person, that's for sure. Sean is tenacious. I love that about y'all. The work ethic mirrors ours in a lot of ways. So for me to be able to have like-minded people to talk to like this in the forum, and also give our chats the opportunity to be seen throughout, because I know that there's other like-minded people out there that are watching us and thinking to myself, yeah, I need a group of people that I can hang out with, because you become the folks that you tend to hang out with, and you know, the five people that surround you the most. So look at that. Look at that very deeply. If you're listening to and hearing the sound of our voices, the 5 people that you are hanging out with are what is likely causing you to be there successful, or maybe not. There's a lot more to it than that, but it's probably a good indicator of where you're going to trend to go. So got to be really careful about that.
And
I tell my
mindset.
son that all the time.
I have a tech question.
Uh-oh.
If I hit the connect button right now, if I hit the connect button, can I join the chat without messing up the stream?
Yeah,
I
on
don't
the
see it.
right-hand side, there
Not
should be
sure.
a comments. Are you on your phone or on your
My laptop.
laptop? On the right-hand side, there should be a comments, right? I have admin access. So I'm probably not the person to ask. You guys can
Only
see
see that I
comments.
can chat with you guys.
Okay.
Mm.
I just saw that Joe made a comment. So
Yeah,
I don't see that.
Hey,
on
Joe.
mine.
So Joe from I'd Flip That. He's from Minnesota. So
Oh, nice.
Joe and Nicole, we met them in Nashville.
Yes, I remember.
And so anyway, from Minnesota.
Joe does a thing that I enjoy as a reseller. He has fun.
Yes, he does.
He does like a game show and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
they're fun folks to watch.
Yep.
Their content is great. He's also part of I think it's This Week in Reselling, the Nashville Flippers channel. Ray,
Yep.
He's on that podcast. So make sure you're following Ray, so you can see Joe and all the wonderful things he says. He was on We Don't Give a Flip, the podcast that I did before Launchpad Reseller podcast, and was able to talk to those guys. That was one of the first podcasts that I ever Amanda and I were introduced to. They actually asked us to be on that podcast, and that's how we got our start on the Nashville or our This Week in Reselling. They did a spotlight on our business.
Cool.
That was a good episode.
Yeah, it was. So if you want to know more about us as resellers and how we got started, that's a good one. It's also on our channel, Rocket City Reseller. I went ahead and got a copy of that and put it up there. So videos, I have on my channel, videos that you should watch first if you're new. So I have a little playlist that's created, and I suggest if you guys want to do that, so that way people can get to know you, you can say videos to watch first, create a playlist, and then they can go there and kind of learn more about why maybe you started this and how that can maybe help them as resellers. So,
I need a good introduction video, like introducing myself. I don't know
Me
if I can
too.
talk to the camera for that long.
Me
see.
too. I gotta have some practice first.
Yeah, right.
I was looking at I was looking at some of the older stuff that we did, and oh Lord, it's painful. Lord.
The beauty of the internet, you just get to keep it all up there. And
I
see.
know it.
Sean,
My trick to talking into the camera for a few minutes for a video is I do it in like little 1-minute segments. So, because I get real bad about like thinking and trying to think of what I'm supposed to say next. So I'll like say it, and then when I start to wander off, I stop the phone and I start recording it again, and then I cut them down and I clip them all together. So
yeah, that's probably
because
smarter.
I'll get stuttering and thinking like, oh, what was I going to say?
Oh my gosh, so relatable. I've done that.
So it's not
Video
just you. I do it myself. So
first of all, video editing there's got to be an easier way. With the advent of AI, I would assume that there's a better way forward. I don't know, for video
Can't
editing.
wait to see it because I stink at editing.
I hope it'll be for dummies.
Yeah.
Everybody claims to be able to do AI video editing, but I've yet to find a software that can do it well. So, what about you, Gary? No, you do a lot of the social media stuff. What do you think?
Editing is a skill in and of itself, and I think you just got to practice and get good with. There's a lot of tutorials. I've watched a couple tutorials the other day. I recorded a video, actually tried it. I recorded it all once and went to edit it, and I was like, I hate this. I'm like you, Sean. I get off track. I forget what I'm supposed to say. I just threw it all away and had to re-record it. I put we got a little mini figure of like Jesus, and I put him on top of the camera so I could talk to somebody.
That's a good idea. I like
He's
that
with
one.
you anyway.
It seemed to help. I kept that video.
Well, you picked a good source.
Now you got to record yourself doing that because that'll
Yeah, I
go
know,
viral.
right?
It's hilarious.
Ah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
What softwares are you guys using to edit videos?
I use CapCut.
I use CapCut as well.
I've used Adobe Premiere in the past, and CapCut was a little more reasonable, just priced wise, and they work about the same. There's probably more features in Adobe, but for making just a talking head YouTube video or making a reel or something like that, CapCut works pretty good. You don't even need that. You can use what's in TikTok or Instagram. The first several that I ever made was just inside the the Instagram editing app, and it's pretty basic, but you can get the job done that way too.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that I've used all of them pretty much, and there's someone that was on the podcast, We Don't Give a Flip, that actually enjoy his social media, Junk Monkey Treasures. If you're not following Junk Monkey Treasures, make sure you do. Rob over there, he does everything on his iPhone through iMovie. He'll be the first. Yeah, he'll be the first one to say, I do not know technology. I have no idea how to edit. And after that podcast, when it was just him and I, because everybody was either sick or not able to make that podcast, or it was just him and I just having a Rob out. We're just back and forth, all the bobs, just talking it out. And he was telling me all about his journey. And if you haven't watched that episode, it's We Don't Give a Flip. So if you want to go back there on YouTube and watch the episode, Rob's an amazing person. Bench jeweler.
He's always trying to help other smaller creators too by sharing them out.
Yeah, he's always shouting people out. He's a reseller's reseller. He really is. Yeah. So his content can't be beat. So he'll be the first one to admit that, the editing and all that stuff. And I did him a solid, and I helped him with his little outro for his videos. The monkey going, ooh, ooh, ooh. So I created that outro for him and I sent it to him. I didn't think he'd ever use it, right? But he was a true gentleman and was thankful. And so he uses it now in his videos. So it's fantastic that I was able to help him with that. So like I said, I'd be willing to help just about anybody. I truly mean that. So I think that editing videos is
Thank goodness.
Editing videos for me is almost relaxing. My problem is time. The time to do it. So it's relaxing.
So weird. You data.
I am.
He is weird.
I like all the things about reselling that resellers don't like about reselling. If you haven't noticed that yet.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Those are
that's why I think Amanda's so stinking lucky, because you're doing all
I'm
this.
lucky too.
You're doing all the stuff that nobody likes to do.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody has something that they like about this and some things that they don't. I think the trick to it is outsource the things that you don't like if you are able to. So we talked to Cam Life earlier this year about that very thing. And he said he absolutely has no desire to learn about clothing. He doesn't like it, but he's $1 million clothing reseller. How? Right? How does he do it? So how he does it is he does it through Whatnot. It's just volume. So if he's selling $1 million, it's probably $2 million of inventory that he's selling through Whatnot. So, and he outsources.
Going back to your question earlier about sourcing, these guys are thinking outside of the box. Cam has people sending boxes to him and doing sort of like a consignment deal where he'll pay like I think 50 or some odd percent for whatever clothes you send him of what sells. So there's that. And then was it Books and Boards just on also did like a Facebook post where they were getting donations of board games and books and such. So like you just got to really think outside the box.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to expand your inventory pipeline, no matter what level of reseller you are. If you're full-time or part-time, you need to have several different ways to get inventory because the reselling game is getting harder. The people who have the inventory and the stores that have it are becoming more familiar with what it's worth and how to sell it for more. And, you've got to be looking at either more stores, more sales, more connections. You've got to go find more opportunities to get the inventory that you need. And I think that goes for any level of reseller at this point. It's way too easy for someone at a thrift store, a worker or management takes a picture of something, Google image, pulls it right up with a price, and then you're priced out of any margin that you can buy it and resell it for.
Yeah, everybody likes to blame resellers for increasing prices, but I think that this technology that's available at the palm of our hands is responsible for the more knowledge that we have.
Yeah.
There's levels, agreed. So it really does come down to that. Now, are we any better than most? No, we're business folks just like they are, but we get the stigma, which brings us to the trolls part of the conversation that I mentioned at the beginning of this thing.
I feel like the sound bar.
And I'm not talking about the DreamWorks movie. Is it DreamWorks Trolls?
Yeah.
So it comes with the territory. I don't know what it is about, because we're no different when you really think about it than like a Walmart, except there's no child labor like from another country creating this stuff. So I don't know how they get a free card, but resellers get beat up. What do you think, Gary?
I think there's some, folks who tend to comment negatively or view resellers as a negative tend to not see everything that goes into it. And it is what it is. What we do is not all that complicated. We buy something, hopefully cheap enough and turn around and sell it for more. That's really the basic equation of what we do. And if you can do it well enough and you can make some money, I think that there's this idea that you have some sort of advantage or leg up over someone else who's maybe tried it in the past and hasn't been as successful. And so there may be some resentment there. I don't know. We get our fair share of negative comments or people who feel like we aren't telling the true story or showing the whole picture. And for the most part, we kind of laugh and just ignore them. And we'll say, hey, somebody said this or that, and just kind of laugh and move on, because we don't have to prove anything. We've been doing this for 3 years before we ever made a post on social media about it. So you can believe us or not. It's not going to affect whether or not I put up listings today. So, being negative towards a reseller, like, I get it. You see, there's probably some envy or jealousy, especially if you see someone pull something nice off of a rack in front of you, but that's just part of it. That's just the way it goes. So I don't get too caught.
But have you ever been called a demon?
My previous job once or twice.
Oh no.
You were called a demon. Hey, you were probably called a demon by a demon.
Yes, ma'am.
I know my brother's a police officer, so
the hatred in reselling doesn't hit the hatred.
It doesn't even compare to being a cop.
Yeah.
I mean, law enforcement go. That's probably worse, I'm sure, by far, because
you're the cakewalk.
You're face to face with that person. So
if you guys want some real hate, Amy should wear her badge in your guys' videos, and you could get double hate.
Man.
Well, when I made the graphic for this episode, it put Amy in a police outfit.
Great.
I don't know how AI knew.
That was great. I told her about it. I saw it first, and I was like, "Oh, you got to check out this photo."
I was like,
"Oh, why?" I said, "Oh, you'll love it."
Don't kid yourself, Bob. AI knows everything. I mean,
I think what it is
when I'm having a meeting with ChatGPT, it just scares me how well this AI knows me personally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that memory
it's
on there.
remembering all your posts from previously, all the questions you've asked, all the stuff that's like from your episode. I would imagine that all the stuff that we use for the copy for that was saved in some sort of way. So I don't know if you've ever Google searched yourself. Like I just did Rocket City Reseller through Google and just wanted to see what would come up. It was pretty accurate. I was surprised by that. Sean, have you ever Googled yourself, Shawnsfinds?
I check my criminal background check every once in a while, but I don't really Google myself.
Dang.
You never know. Sean's like, did I?
Oh, that's funny, Sean.
I always just hope that time I peed on a building once it would go away, but it hasn't gone away yet. So it's still on there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What else? I like those business descriptions that you get when you look it up.
Yeah, so it goes into depth, like what our channel's about. It mentions both podcasts. You know, it did a fair summation of the business. Even created links to the podcast through Spotify and Amazon, and I was just like, wow, it's like crazy what it's doing.
People to click on those links.
There's a lot of people right there with so much hate for AI.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that? Ruthanne, what are your thoughts about that? Because you use it, right? Yeah. It's a great learning tool. What do you think?
I mean, I've gotten very almost dependent on it because I have absolutely zero people helping me here physically with me. So I don't really want to burden other people's time with every single question I've got. So it's gotten very, very habit for me to just ask ChatGPT. And so, but I do have a couple people that come into my Whatnot show that they're just so against it. They just think it's the devil. And I mean, I'm a real faith walking woman. I have yet to see anything but niceness come out of chat for me. But you know, I don't really put any negative into it either. You know, I mean, the chat knows that I'm a positive thinking person, so it's never going to throw negative back at me. I just know it won't because.
Well, if you want the truth about ChatGPT, I'm going to teach you a prompt from an engineering point of view. So if you want to make sure that it's not glazing your donut, this is what you do. All right. After you ask it the question and whatever answer it gives you back, because it will glaze your donut if you're not careful. So go ahead and put /truth after your prompt. /truth, and it will give you the real.
Bob, we need like a AI cheat sheet or something with prompts.
Maybe I should do a YouTube.
You mean when you ask it a question, then you put
after you get your answer, right? So you're going to get your answer. It's going to give you all the things and tell you how great you are, you know, like usual. But you do want to do that, you know, /truth. You can also, there's something that you can do called /Eli5. And you can change it Eli 10, Eli 15. It will give you the most basic understanding of it from a 5-year-old point of view. You know, you can continue going down and get more in depth. So you can not only learn, you can learn through that as well. So those are just a few of the prompts that you can use. Now,
interesting.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of different ones that, and I have some stuff like set aside somewhere that I could probably post for people to be able to get more out of their ChatGPT experience, because the last thing you want to do is put misinformation out there, and you know, people are going to just be angry with it because they're saying that it's using too much water. But from a tech point of view, I will tell you that NVIDIA just came up with a process that uses less water to be able to cool their data centers. They actually are overheating their data centers to keep their servers cooler. I don't know exactly how that technology works, because it sounds like it uses energy as well, but if you're harnessing the power of the sun to do it, maybe that's the way forward. So their stock is going to increase to go up, by the way. They're predicting that because of that. So
they're going to send all the data centers into space anyway and use solar energy to power them soon enough. So
yeah, or put them underneath the ocean.
The ocean, yeah.
I don't know exactly.
You can't blackmail it.
Well, you can't. Yeah, you can't.
I don't pay for it, so I just use the free version, and I mainly
Sure.
use it to make like thumbnails and stuff. And the other day, I was arguing to Chat GPT because or GTP or whatever it is because it wasn't doing what I wanted, and then it said I was out of free ones, and I said I'm only out of free ones because you're not doing what I'm telling you to do. And I apologized, and I said if you don't give me more of what I want, I'm going to Grok. Like thinking that like scared him. He didn't care if I went to Grok or not. Like, so
Oh
it can't
my
be
God,
that kind of-
Sean, you're funny.
That's hilarious.
We're arguing with chat. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you can't
That's
blackmail me.
threatening, not just arguing. He's threatening.
You go to
They're
Grok.
coming,
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
they're coming for you first, Sean, after all
I
that.
know.
I'm always
That's so
kind to my
funny.
AI overlords. I'm always saying thank you because
I feel like
it's-
I feel like in times when I've gotten frustrated with it, it just stops responding. Like it will ghost me, and I'm like, what the heck?
there's probably a feature that's baked into it when it can tell, like through prompting, and it's like, or have you ever? It can't do it because it will
You
break the
guys.
licensing or something for something, and you're just
Mhm.
doing like a basic post about,
Yeah.
I don't know, something reselling. You're like, how is this breaking any copyright or trust violation? It's
Yeah.
like- so the trick with that is, I'm going to give you a trick, another hot tip. So you do inspired by or inspiration of,
Mhm.
and it'll
I
do
did
it,
like that one.
and it will do it anyways. But it won't look exactly like what you probably envisioned, but it'll get you close.
Love that.
So,
Only Sean gets in an argument with chat.
Listen,
I thought if I
remember-
blackmailed it to go to a different service, it would give me what I wanted, but it just pretty much told me how the other service could fit my needs, and
yeah,
Oh, dang.
went and made my thumbnail on Grok with my free ones there until Chat, because I think you can get new free ones in like 24 hours or something, and so I
Yeah.
just bounce back and forth.
There's like an
I'm too cheap to
$8.99
pay
version
for
of
it.
it or something, isn't there? There's like a cheaper
was
version,
that?
a $20 version, I believe.
Yeah.
Well,
I
if
like
you
the
make your
version.
goal this year, Sean, you can upgrade.
yeah. Get yourself something nice, Sean. You know, buy yourself something pretty.
You'll probably be
Buy
able
myself
to
some AI.
afford the
The
upgrade.
price went up for him, I think.
Those cheap options of membership have disappeared.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love the frugality of it especially when you have such big goals. It's that just because you have the money to spend doesn't necessarily mean you should spend it. And there's a lot of times what the rub is for a lot of people who can't recognize that. So
I might
once
have
you
to
have
try
it,
that one.
there are people that will get $1,000 and say, how can I use that $1,000 to leverage more money? And there's the people that get $1,000 that'll say, how can I spend this on things? And that's the difference.
Low cost, no cost. That's the
Not sure where I lie in there, but
I'm already paying for CapCut. I'm paying for my blue check mark on Facebook. Like I already got enough monthly money going out in social media as it is, and I'm not getting that Harry Tornado money yet. So
this
I
You
got
need to
kind
sell
of
soap,
budgeted.
Sean. You need to sell soap.
That's so funny. I'm not patient enough to do the free version. I don't want to wait 24 hours.
Yeah.
yeah, that's me too.
I
Well,
just
I'll message you and have you prompt it for me since you
There
have the
you
paid
go.
version. Then
There
you can
you
screenshot the thumbnail and send it to me. So
that's funny.
That's hilarious. You got to outsource your social media.
They
I'll just
probably
text
did
Bob
that.
and be
I
like, "Hey,
think they
I
would
need a
figure that
thumbnail that
out.
says this."
Your AI slop. That's what I was
Yeah.
told today for the reminder that we were going live. Someone messaged us. It's like, keep scrolling. What is wrong with you people?
I got some AI hate in my comments the other day because I was making a reel of me checking to see if a Mall Madness board game was complete.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched that.
And
Yeah.
the instructions didn't tell me how many little pegs were supposed to be in it. So I asked AI and it told me how many little pegs. So I made a joke in my video that they're actually putting a data center in my town and everyone has signs that say no data center in their yard right now.
Yeah.
And I joked that everyone's up in arms about this, but I wouldn't be able to complete my Malt Madness board game without those data centers. And someone said that it wasn't a good look for me to support data centers. And I told them, I was like, well, if data centers wants to sponsor my videos or anything, if there's a data center out there that wants to sponsor me, I'll
Yeah.
plug them if they're willing to write the check. So
OpenAI sponsor us.
Yeah.
We could use a sponsor
Mm.
for this podcast. That'd be
They're not
awesome.
going to sponsor me after me trying to blackmail them. So
That's one thing about
Maybe they
growing
would.
and doing content. That's one thing about growing and doing content that I don't look forward to is the haters.
Well, I mean,
I don't mind them.
whenever you open yourself up to the general
Ellie, you're
public,
funny.
I mean,
Bring it on.
Yeah, Ellie will get them, man.
Listen, I grew up in the hood, for the lack of a better term. Okay, I'm not afraid of a couple of online bullies.
Yeah, you have to have a thick skin when you do this.
Yeah.
You have to have a thick skin to be able to resell and then open yourself up to teach people how to do it. Because there are people out there that say that you can't or you shouldn't be, or this isn't for everybody. And for those people, I would say, who are you to tell me who I can try to teach or inform? Like, what's that about?
Right.
So, I don't know.
that's the main hate I get is, well, you just ruined that for selling vacuum cleaner parts. I get that one, and I get the people not believing that I do what I do and sell what I sell by myself. I don't get really the reseller stealing from the poor people hate. I get the calling me a liar hate. But
Well, I think what it is, ultimately why there's a lot of hate is the donation part of it. But I think what they're not realizing is most of the donation centers are organizations and businesses. They're not necessarily charities. So
Yeah.
Goodwill has like put the fleece over people's eyes or whatever, convincing folks that they're a charity. Yes, they do a lot of good deeds for folks that need jobs. I'm not discounting that. But at the end of the day, they are a for-profit organization. And a lot of people don't realize that. So
Whenever I get that kind of hate, I just say that there's enough for everybody to go around and everybody's keeping all that stuff out of the landfill. The resellers, the regular Joes that are out there buying shirts and toys and whatever, glass, everybody is working together to keep it out of the landfill because it wouldn't all sell.
yeah. Textiles alone, like Gary and Amy, I don't know if you've ever seen like those videos of just like dumps full of just clothing, just like mountains, like bigger than a mountain. This is crazy.
I don't think we have them here, but there are rag houses in other countries where they're just bales and bales of I guess that's not what we consider them, but
reselling clothes is a drop in the bucket for what worldwide the clothes that are to the landfill or chopped up into rags or sent off to be recycled, whatever. I mean, even if we bought 50 things from Goodwill, you wouldn't even know that we took 50 things out of there because there's tens of thousands, if not more, pieces of clothing in that store as it's getting dropped off every single day. So
I think that there's, now correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, y'all, but I believe in India that you cannot import textiles because they're one of the biggest creators of textiles in the world. But they don't want things like Levi's and other, there's like all black market over there. So they don't want that stuff over there because they're making their own clothing items. They want you to buy their stuff, which makes sense. But yeah, so there's certain countries, and it's a Vero if you try to sell Levi's through eBay. I'm sure you guys know.
eBay International, I think there's some rules against Levi's, and there's some other brands that you can't offer internationally because of that.
Yeah, Plush is that way as well. Yeah, Plush is that way as well. There's whenever we get someone from the UK that wants to buy a plushie, I'm just like, sorry about that. They just won't allow it through eBay, but I can sell it through Etsy. Make that make sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about our sales, our goals, and our trolls. So we're going to open it up to the comments. If there's anybody watching here that has a comment or wants to ask a question, now's your chance. Also
don't forget to like and subscribe.
I want to remind you that we are going live tomorrow with Q&A. Me and Ellie will be live on Launchpad Reseller Podcast, Season 2. If you have a burning question and you want to jump on that one, that will be 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. You'll catch Ellie and I on there. And we're going to talk about reselling and all. So, and if there are no questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. And we want to remind you guys, if you cannot be good at it. We're going to catch you on the next FlipSide Reseller Roundtable. Until next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.